Good afternoon, everyone. We're having some technical difficulties today, so we apologize for the late start. Hopefully, you're joining us again over on incentiveconcepts.com/live. We're going to wait just a few minutes to get started so people can catch up. We had an event scheduled on YouTube, and for some reason, the streaming service we were using did not communicate with that YouTube link, so we had to create a new YouTube link. If you go over to incentiveconcepts.com/live, you should be seeing this stream right now. So apologies there, but it's going to take a few minutes to get a few other people on. So we're just going to give it about 5 minutes, maybe less than 5 minutes, 2 minutes, and we'll get started. Again, if you're just joining us on incentiveconcepts.com/live, we had some technical difficulties with our original stream, YouTube stream video. And so we had to restart it and create a new YouTube stream. So apologies there, just some technical glitches on our end. There's no excuses other than we just made a little technical mistake there. So hopefully some of you are joining us now. There are some comments in the original YouTube stream window stating to come over to incentiveconcepts.com/live and check us out over here. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and hopefully people will catch up and make it over this way. My name is Andy Hudson. I'm Director of Marketing for Incentive Concepts. I want to welcome you to today's live broadcast, and we're very happy that you're here joining us. The goal of our live broadcasts is to give viewers an inside peek at some of our partners, to discuss corporate gifts and incentives, and more importantly, to have a little bit of fun. And it's our hope that today's broadcast will help you feel connected and engaged in this time of social distancing and remote work. I'm sure a lot of you are spending a lot of time on the computer, so we appreciate you joining us for this half hour. Before I introduce today's guest, I want to cover some housekeeping details. Now that you've made it here to this broadcast, please feel free to live chat right in YouTube. We'd love to hear where you're joining us from, your name and your town where you're joining us from. And if you have any questions for the speakers, please feel free to put those in the YouTube chats as well, and we'll ask them the questions. And so before we bring on our special guest, I want to introduce our co-host today is Brian Revolta. He's our Senior VP of Business Development, and he's instrumental in the leadership of the entire Incentive Concepts organization, especially the relationships we have with our brand partners. So I'd like to welcome Brian. Thanks for joining us today, Brian.
Andy, good to see you. Thanks for having me today. Really excited for this broadcast today. You know, over the past several years, we've been very fortunate to have created a great relationship with Danielle Bishop and her company, HB Hospitality. For those of you who don't know, HB Hospitality is a curated network of meeting planners and luxury hoteliers. And we wanted to have her here today really to talk about what's going on in the travel industry. Anybody who's in the incentive and gifting space is either directly or indirectly affected by what happens in the travel industry. And Danielle has the luxury of communicating with both planners and hoteliers on a daily basis. So we thought that it would be a great idea to have her on today. And with that, I'm gonna turn it over to Danielle. And Danielle, I'd just like you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself personally and how HB Hospitality started and what it is.
Thank you so much, Brian, and thank you, Andy, for the generous opportunity to speak with you and your community today. So HB Hospitality is a community of independent luxury resorts, hotels, and then meeting planners that are invited by our hospitality partners. We do about 70 events a year, and the whole purpose of our community is to connect our hospitality partners with planners directly, and we don't get paid a commission. All we do is we facilitate those introductions and really help those business objectives move forward. So we're different than a lot of other kind of GSOs out there. We're not a GSO. We're not getting involved in the actual individual, RFPs and meetings that are being sourced. We're just creating a safe, trusted space online with our community, the Hive, and then at our events so people can do idea exchanges, discuss best practices, and then just find some other resources that help them professionally and personally.
That's fantastic. Fantastic. We love the relationship we have with HB Hospitality. You guys are always so kind and willing to help us out. And it kind of with today's society and today's, vibe out there, it's important to lean on each other. So we appreciate that. But if in looking at your website, you say connecting exceptional people to extraordinary experiences. Can you kind of dive a little deeper into that for us?
Sure. So I started this company in 2011. I had always been in the independent luxury resort world. I actually grew up in Pinehurst, North Carolina. And so that was one of my first jobs in hotel sales. And then I went to the Lodge at Torrey Pines in La Jolla, and then Pinehurst brought me back. And when I thought about what kind of company did I want to create, I knew that one of the greatest true luxuries in life is working with people that you authentically enjoy. So that's one of the neatest things about our company is that we get to curate not only the hotels, but we also get to curate the planners. And we are really particular. I've been putting information out on LinkedIn about being positive. And that is something that people have come to know and love about our community, is that they're just people who are positive and they are collaborative. And that's not by accident, because not everybody shows up that way. So if somebody isn't along those lines, we say, you know what, maybe not the right fit for you, but we really welcome people who are truly exceptional in terms of just their positive attitude and their can-do energy. And it has, I think when people show up at our events, they say, you know what, there's something different about this. And that's the reason is we're really mindful about who we welcome. And we welcome both of you too. So you're positive and happy too.
Well, thank you. And I think that's probably why our companies and our leaders get along so well, is because Incentive Concepts, we're all about delivering the best better and having a positive attitude and making sure we demonstrate that in everything we do. So I think that's a great point that you make. So so with today's world that we're living in, whether we want to consider it the new normal or whatever, talk about, and you talk to hoteliers probably every day, I assume. Can you talk about what hoteliers are facing right now and maybe how they're modifying their expectations? And we've heard a lot about the word pivoting. And reference the Friends episode, right? But can you talk a little bit about how hotels are pivoting right now?
Sure. So we have a bi-weekly call with leaders from our community. So, our customers are places like Meadowood, Napa Valley, Sea Island, the Broadmoor, Pinehurst, Pebble Beach, Meritage. So we do a bi-weekly call and we do a survey just trying to get a temperature of how are they doing? What are they seeing? What are they hearing from customers? And I will tell you that in those calls, they will say that the spirit of collaboration has been very strong with customers, that everybody recognizes, listen, we didn't cause COVID. We're not the reason that this is all happening. But they are getting many more conversations about what can we do to rebook? What can we do to reschedule versus cancellation? And I think that has really allowed all of us to kind of keep our energy up, because it takes as much energy to cancel a program as it does to book it in the first place. And they're really grateful to the clients who approach this situation with a spirit of collaboration. And as far as things that they're doing differently, oh man, it's early days. So we've heard it all. What we're hearing out of Asia, because we do work with Rosewood Hotels, Tina Gassert is so wonderful. But they are doing things like, disinfecting with the mist sprayers in rooms. We're really going to see a lot of things that are completely different in terms of housekeeping. So some specifics there. In fact, I just spoke with the Broadmoor. They are one of the nation's longest standing 5-star property. And their housekeeping standards, while we're in this climate, once a guest checks in, they are not going to refresh the room. So turn down, which is an element of 5-star service, is not possible. They will give guests extra towels and extra sheets, but to keep their employees safe, they are really minimizing what they are able to do in terms of refresh. When a guest checks out, there will be a deep clean and disinfecting of that room. So it used to be a small little detail that maybe people don't think about. A house attendant or housekeeping attendant would take the same cleaning materials, whether it's like a rag that they wipe down the countertops with, and they would move it from room to room. That's not happening anymore. So they're going to put on new gloves, new cleaning rags, and everything is new as they go from space to space. So a big changes in housekeeping. There's not going to be any more shared items on the tables when they can open the outlets. So no salt and pepper, no bread basket. Things will be individually served, and maybe a lot of kind of to-go items until we can move through and, you know, get a bit more stability. So they're reacting as quickly as they can because it's important to get business moving again. And we're doing it in small increments that we know we can do it safely.
Wow, that seems like hotel managers and resort managers must just completely had to light a match to all their plans for the summer and
Yeah.
really do some new things. So again, we want to apologize for our initial glitch. I hope I'm saying her name right. Salema El Shafai says technology issues make us event planners feel at home of what we are all facing right now. So, well, that's true. And we appreciate that. But again, I'm Andy Hudson, and we have Danielle Bishop here with HB Hospitality and Brian Revolta with Incentive Concepts as well. And we just want to welcome everybody again. I know we've already been talking a little bit. One thing that's neat that we're doing today, Danielle, that you may not be aware is we're giving away some Costa sunglasses.
Oh,
Okay.
those are awesome.
Yeah. They're great sunglasses. I have a pair myself. I wear them almost every day. So for those of you that are out watching, if you're interested in putting your name in the hat for those, go to incentiveconcepts.com/summer, since it's almost summertime. And you can enter a little form right there. And I'm going to ask maybe Kate, who I think is watching, to put that in the comments, incentiveconcepts.com/summer. And you can go over there and enter to win a pair of sunglasses. So that'll stay open until about 2:30. And then we'll draw 3 lucky winners for a pair of sunglasses of their choice. And the way that we're going to give those out is we're going to use our event card platform, which I think you're familiar with, Danielle. So
you know what? I have it right here.
Okay.
And we are, do you want me to talk about this? Because this partnership, Andy, is one of the things that's allowing us to blaze through. I'm not even going to call it the new normal. I don't like those words, but this current climate. So one of the things, we do 70 events a year, and they're live events. And we've had to just play the hand that we've been dealt. So all of our programs for May and June have been turned into virtual showcases where we're setting up one-to-one appointments for our hotel partners and hospitality partners directly with meeting planners. That logistically may not sound like a big deal, but it's actually very, very tricky. And my team's worked incredibly hard. We've got our first event. It's sold out May 19th for Salt Lake. And then May 20th, we have Denver also sold out. We've got a waiting list for these programs. And one of the things that's made it possible is this little guy right here, which is your product. So when our planners go through and they do all of the appointments that they've signed up for, then we are going to send them this virtual event card. And they get to, let me just make sure that's set up correctly. But then they get to go online and pick out a product that just is our way of saying thank you. So it's being powered by Incentive Concepts and something that they get to experience. And it's just, we're so grateful for that opportunity because the customers are excited about it. There's awesome products for them to choose from. I know they've got Seiko watches, and I think there is a Briggs & Riley bag, some cashmere counter. Brian, what else is in there? Some really cool things.
Yeah, I was going to ask Brian to kind of, I'm sorry, I stepped on you there, Brian, but yeah, go ahead. Talk a little bit more about the program.
Oh, we've got bows in there as well. But yeah, the event card platform is a great virtual gifting opportunity. To Danielle's point, a lot of things have gone from live meetings now to virtual meetings. And we've been fortunate that we've had our event card platform for about 6 years now. So it's not new to us. It's something that we've done for a long time. And the one thing that we've been working on in the last few weeks, and Andy, you've kind of spearheaded this, is really putting together a nice virtual gifting presentation to where we don't even have to physically mail the cards. We can email codes and have it almost have the same feel of opening that envelope that Danielle was showing. So, we've been partners with HB Hospitality. We've worked with them at their showcases for a long time, but for the last 2 years, it's been an exclusive relationship where we provide the gifting at each one of those 70 events that Danielle mentioned. And it's just a great opportunity for us to get to meet planners, understand what their programs look like, understand what their gifting challenges might be, and really work with them to put together a great solution for them. And it's also a great opportunity to network with the hoteliers as well. So it's been a great opportunity for us, for sure.
And what we're doing, Brian, for our events coming up in July, we're actually going to pre-mail this piece to the customers, because I think at this point, even those of you who are watching, everybody might be getting a little bit of Zoom fatigue. And so we're wanting to create experience before the event. So we're pre-mailing a little care package to everybody who will be attending virtually. The event card won't be activated, but it's just a reminder to say, hey, don't forget about this event coming up. We really want you to be there. We're going to put some other little goodies in the care package that will represent our hotels, maybe like some lavender satchel from Ojai Valley Inn, or some, energy crystals from Sunrise Springs, but all of that, so then they can have a little bit of an experience of what our hotels offer. And then after we get confirmation they attended all of their events, then you guys are going to be sending them that card digitally. Actually, you know what? We're going to link it up so after they take their survey, then they get their actual individual card number. So that is kind of lots of different pieces to create an experience along the way to lead up to kind of the virtual showcase. So it's super cool.
Excellent.
Yeah, that extra touch point's great. And by the way, when you're doing those gift baskets, if you come across any candles from Old Palm Beach, if you could make a box of those come my way, that'd be fantastic.
Okay.
We'll get that right over to you, Brian. Okay. But yeah, so thank you so much. And there's been some great comments that have come in on the stream here. And let me just read Salema again, and I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. She said they just did a similar gift concept to replace an incentive yearly Mexico trip. She said, wish she had known about our event card platform. So Salema will be happy to talk to you about that. But let's, while we're talking about virtual gifting, I mean, virtual gifting is a small part of an event, right? An important part, we feel. But what are some other virtual opportunities that hoteliers or meeting planners are exploring right now, Danielle?
Oh gosh. Well, I mean, one of the things that I'm seeing, I know Meadowood Napa Valley did they did a little care package of all their different spa products, and they sent instructions, and then they did virtual facials with their clients. So then they had the director of the spa, and they led them through how those products worked. Marla Bedrosian, she has a wonderful winery, and I can get you the information. They're doing virtual wine tastings. So just trying to create experiences that connect customers. And so you're getting information and educating them and keeping your product forefront, even though people may not be making decisions now, but then creating an experience on the back end. So I'm trying to think what else I've seen. I've also seen one hotel send out cooking ingredients, and then they had their executive chef de cuisine come on, and everybody got together and they did a virtual cooking experience, which was pretty cool. So people are getting really creative. I mean, at the end of the day, I think where everybody's trying to innovate, and they're trying to say, okay, you know what, this is temporary. This is not the end, it's a bend. And maybe we can't quite see around the corner yet, but we're going to keep moving forward, and we're going to do what we can to just show up in a positive way.
And that's the perfect segue into what I wanted to talk about next, because I just know you as a very positive person, and I consider myself optimistic myself. And it's important to be that way. Now, that's not to say that we don't get down or we don't get blue, or when the sky's not blue out, we don't kind of get a little bit, down the dumps. But talk about your strategies of staying positive. And there's something that I saw on your LinkedIn page about prismatic potential. Can you give us a little background on what that's all about?
I can. So, oh God, I am one of our core values here at HP Hospitality is just being authentic and vulnerable. So I'm going to tell you guys, I'll try to make it short, but I'm going to tell you the real story. So my dad was diagnosed with brain cancer in March 2018. And so it was a really rough year, and he ended up that year, we knew what was probably going to happen. They don't have long life expectancy. So we had so many amazing conversations, and I had told my dad years ago that I wanted to be a speaker. And I thought that that was my life's path. And he said, you know what? I don't think that you've had enough experiences in life to really provide a whole lot of value. He was a very direct person. And then in that last year, we were talking about it again, and I was telling him some different ideas I had. And he said, you know what? I think you're ready. You've done quite a lot, and I think you've got a story to tell. So after he passed, probably 2 weeks after, which was March of 2019, this idea just kind of flooded. Some ideas you have, and then you kind of forget about it. This one I couldn't shake. So the idea was, so many times we set goals thinking that they're going to bring us happiness. And then we reach that goal and then we're disappointed. So I thought, what if we reverse engineered it? And it's one of the 7 habits, starting with the end in mind. So let's get really clear about how we want to show up. How do we want to feel? And then be intentional about the actions we can take to manifest that energy. So I came up with this idea of prismatic potential, which is when you look at marketing, so many different colors represent different emotions. And I came up with over 200 really positive words about how you can choose to show up. And then I had bracelets made that were in all these different colors. So this was kind of my little passion project. And then I did one speech on it, and then I put it aside, honestly, because I was a bit embarrassed about it. I didn't really know if that was the right message. And I just felt, I need to focus on my company. And then COVID happened. And then I remembered prismatic potential. And I thought, you know what? This is a message. People are hearing a lot of bad news. It's time for some good news, and let's focus on some positive things. So I shared this, and this is what one looks like. See if I can get it in my camera. It's just a little triangle, and it's got a bracelet on it. And there's all these different colors. So that's red. Red is like when you think about brands like Coca-Cola, or you think, oh, there you go, Coca-Cola, or you think about Virgin Airlines. They're exciting and they're daring. And so that's what red is. It's like accomplished, exciting, daring. We've got orange, which is about adventure, but it's also about community. Yellow is really fun. It's joyful and it's energetic. So we've got all these different colors. And the idea is pick how you want to show up. My color and my word is positive. So I've got a blue bracelet that I wear, and you can see it right here on the front. It's just got a little triangle, and it just reminds myself, hey, you've got a choice of how you can show up. And I choose to be positive. I choose to focus on the good news. And I think probably 4 weeks ago, when we had been in this for 4 weeks, I was starting to get down. I was like, damn, there is not a light at the end of this tunnel. And then I decided to change my focus. I decided to focus on what was positive. And when I made that intentional decision, good news began rolling in. I began getting emails from customers saying, hey, we want to partner with you on this. Hey, we want to move forward on that. And that was pretty revolutionary. So that's a very long-winded answer, but I do it through just setting small intentions with prismatic potential. And I share that with other people. So I put it on Facebook or in LinkedIn, and anybody who wanted to be brave, share their word. I have been sending these bracelets for free to anybody who's wanted to make their own intention. And I write them all a personal note. I've sent over 100. And then it kind of re-energizes me because I'm passing that baton of positivity to other people. And that's made me feel good every day.
That's fantastic.
It's a really long answer.
I'll need to I'll need to ping you for one for optimistic. I assume that's on there.
That is on there. Yes. And I would
Okay.
be honored to send you one.
Well, thank you. So maybe the people in the chat right now, if they would maybe put in their word or their term, if you'd like, if you're watching, you can put in the term that would keep you positive, and we'll share those with you, Danielle. And you can go to find Danielle on LinkedIn and see the video she did for that. I hope that's okay that I promoted that for you. And
No, that'd be great. I'd love it.
Be happy to interact with people there. So great. So, well, you know what? We try to keep these to about 30 minutes, and time flies in 30 minutes, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
So I think we're gonna try to wrap it up here, but we wanna make sure that everybody has a chance to enter for those Costa sunglasses. So go to incentiveconcepts.com/summer. Danielle, go ahead. You can fill it out too. Maybe you'll win a pair of sunglasses.
That would be awesome. My children just take mine and hide them and break them. So I definitely can be fair.
There you go. Brian, you've been listening over there. Do you got anything to add? Have you learned anything new today?
Well, I just wanted to ask Danielle, just kind of from a planner standpoint, I know that they're all trying to reschedule. Is there kind of a common time frame that people are looking at, or is it just kind of all over the map and anybody's guess?
It's a fluid situation. So I know that the hotels felt like the fall was really firm, right? So everybody was betting on like Q3, Q4, it's going to pull us out of this situation. I know that some really large meetings are trying to occur in August, but there are some customers that have concerns about the fall. Here's what I'm going to say. If you are a corporate planner, America needs you. America needs you to show up and be fearless. We're all doing it in a safe way, but we need you to move forward, because those housekeepers and those attendants and your customers, the best thing that you can do for our country, because I am, is to show up, to move forward with your meeting and not cancel the ones in the fall, unless there are requirements from the CDC that say, look, you can't meet if you've got a meeting of 100 people and our requirements are 50 or less, then that's one reason. But otherwise, please, if you're scheduling one, be the champion for it, and really try to educate your executive team that now is the time to show up and to do your part as an American, and really move forward with the commitments that you've made, because we need you. The country needs you to move business forward. And if we don't, it's going to be a really bad deal for a lot of people. So stay positive, you can do it. And I think that's the best thing anybody can do is really try to honor their commitments.
Yeah. Amen. I think that's those are some good words of wisdom to end on for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Andy,
you're muted.
See, there's the technical difficulties again. So that seems like a great way to end the broadcast. So we want to thank everybody that was watching today. We're sorry for the technical difficulties at the beginning. That's life, right? And I really want to thank Danielle and Brian. We are going to continue to do these broadcasts weekly. So next week on May 21st, we're going to bring in David Parker from Lifeline Fitness, and he's going to go over some products that are perfect for building like a home gym or a home fitness area. So make sure to tune in on May 21st, same time, 2:30 Eastern, 1:30 Central. And then 2 weeks from today on May 28th, I'm really excited. We're going to have Sarah Williamson from Briggs and Riley, and she's going to cover some of her packing tips and tricks and other tips to stay healthy and safe in hotels and when you're traveling. And so that's a very timely topic right now as well. So hopefully you'll join us in 2 weeks for that. So Brian, thank you for co-hosting. Again, sorry for the technical difficulties. And Danielle, we really, really appreciate you coming on so much. Thank you very much. And we look forward to seeing you again very soon.
Thank you, guys.
thanks, Andy, and thank you, Danielle.
And last thing, if anybody wants to go to my LinkedIn, truly, it would be my honor to, if you want to be vulnerable, share your positive word and what you're going to do to make that happen. I would love to send you a prismatic potential bracelet.
That's fantastic. All right. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next time. Thanks again.
Guys.